Hey, Zane Griggs here. So I'm cooking up my first meal of the day. As most people know, it's breakfast, right? But it's actually about 11:45 right now. It's 11:45 in the morning. So yeah, I'm having my first meal at breakfast. At lunchtime. And I do that. It's like an intermittent fasting thing, right? And so it allows me to burn fat all morning. But I'm doing some Brussels sprouts, all right, to have with my eggs. And for those of you who haven't cut a Brussels sprout, this is a Brussels sprout. They're yummy, contrary to what you might, the idea you might have gotten when you were a kid. So if you haven't prepped one before, you just cut this end off right there, then flip it over and cut it in half. So you've got two halves of it, right? And it looks a little bit like, I got them going right here, so take a look. I got a cover on them, it helps them cook a little faster, so the heat stays in there and they soften up, because they're pretty dense vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables, known for being cancer preventative, right? But see the halves there? They're in little halves. And kind of stir them around in some coconut oil, which you can see right here. Coconut oil. Get that. It's organic virgin coconut oil. Get that at Costco. That's Kirkland brand. But you can get it anywhere. But we get a big tub because we go through it. We use it every day. So, which is a medium chain triglyceride, for those of you who aren't familiar with medium chain triglycerides. They're very easy to turn into fuel for your body to turn into immediate fuel. They're not an omega-3, they're not an omega-6, they're not monounsaturated, okay? So they're like, basically, they don't own the polyunsaturated. They're a medium chain, means they're easy to break down and turn to fuel, but they don't bump insulin. So that means you're going to continue burning fat, releasing body fat, while you're eating fat, okay? And it stays in your system longer, but it stays in your system long enough to be broken down and turned into readily available energy. Whereas like sometimes if you've done a low carb diet and you're trying to break down body fat, it can take a little longer to get that fuel. So if you try to go to high intensity, or you might just feel a little bit of that, if you're just getting used to it, a little bit of that brain fog. The MCT in here, the MCT oil, which is a supplement that some people take, but it makes the fat more readily available for energy, so you can have that quicker supply of energy without eating carb, okay, and without waiting for your body just to break down body fat, which as you're getting used to it, can take a little bit longer and give you that kind of like, okay, I'm going uphill here. So that kind of speeds it up, but great for cooking. We cook most of our veggies, eggs, which I'm going to cook in just a bit. I've got a few eggs here I pick up from a local farmer who's got a bunch of eggs or chickens running around in his backyard, and so I pick up my eggs there almost weekly. I have about 3 whole eggs. Eat the yolks, okay? One of my favorite hashtags, eat the yolks. But these, it doesn't have to take a long time to make a quick, healthy breakfast. These have been in the pan for about 7 or 8 minutes. It took me about 3 minutes to cut them up. It took me like 10 or 12 Brussels sprouts, cut them up, threw them in the pan with the coconut oil, put the lid on them, and they'll cook for maybe, depending on how hot you have it. I have like a medium heat, like a 4 to 6 range, where I normally might cook my eggs. They're going to cook maybe 5 to 8 minutes to soften up. They get a little toasty around the sides, which I love. Kind of makes them little tastier. Not overcooked. You don't want to blacken them, but a little browning, and so they start softening up. But that's the lid helps keep the heat in there, so the steam, right, and the heat builds up in there and softens them up a little faster than just cooking from the outside in. So these are also great with, we had them last night. We had a special dinner. Our daughter turns 21 this week. So we had a special family dinner and served them with the ribeye we had. So we had some great steak and Brussels sprouts. So they're very versatile vegetable. I love them in the morning. Asparagus is another favorite of mine to cook in with the eggs, or to have alongside my eggs. Also in the coconut oil, and the vegetables soak up that fat, okay? And it's a great delivery system for that fat. You're thinking, why would I want fat? Well, low carb, I take in more fat for fuel. Again, keeps insulin low, doesn't bump insulin, and allows me to keep burning fat shortly after eating. Now there's going to be a little, but just because I'm eating eggs, it's got protein. There are a little bit of carbohydrate in the vegetable, obviously, but very low. So there's a lot of fiber. Maybe, depending on what you look at, you're going to look at a net carb of, depending on what food app you use, 5 to 8 grams per cup of Brussels sprouts. So not a lot, and there's a lot of fiber in there, plus all the nutrition that comes with a cruciferous vegetable. You have green vegetables. Your biome loves it. The bacteria living in our bodies, mostly in our gut, they love that vegetable fiber. So, you know, this is all good food. And coconut oil, lots of benefits, brain health. It's antimicrobial, so, you know, fights that bad bacteria. We don't want the bad bacteria, but yet the Brussels sprouts feed the good bacteria. The vegetable fiber feed the good bacteria in our system. So it's essentially anti-inflammatory, right? Because you've got the Brussels sprouts, the cruciferous vegetable, coconut oil, okay, as well, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory because there's no sugar in it. Lots of fiber, vegetable fiber, the kind you want, not grain fiber, but the vegetable fiber we want to, again, feed the biome. I throw in the eggs with it. I'm getting all the nutrients from the yolks, as well as the protein in the egg white, which is the most easily assimilated protein for us humans. You know, egg white, I should say, and the protein that's in the yolk, and all the other nutrients, the vitamin A, the cholesterol, which is actually good for us and that we need for our nervous system and hormone production. All that into a very healthy way to start the day. And after a fast, I want, you know, so basically it's been, I haven't eaten since last night. So after a short fast, whether it's 14 or 16 hours, if you're doing sort of an intermittent fast, you want to have a very nutritious meal to start your day, and that's not going to send your insulin into overdrive, like biscuits or oatmeal or some other kind of cereal that might be considered somewhat healthy even, but it's just a carb, and that would send your insulin up, and then a couple hours later you want more carbs. So this way insulin stays low, very low carb, very nutritious. I don't start a carb craving to last throughout the day, and I say this is a low carb day for me. I'm not working out today, not doing any weight training, I should say. So I tend to eat much lower carb and don't have anything till maybe a serving later at night at dinner, but I stay extremely low carb with veggies and protein and fats throughout the day. So that was a lot of information at one time, but if you have any questions, please post below. I'm happy to answer them or message me directly. And if you know someone that would benefit from this or needs some cooking tips or cooking ideas, not really tips, this is pretty simple. It's a very simple meal to throw together, very quick. You got a hot pan, pull the Brussels sprouts out, put your eggs in. It's already hot. They're cooked very quickly, probably about 3 to 4 minutes, and then I'll and then so basically I've got a meal put together in about 10 to 15 minutes. It's really pretty quick. Dominic, I'm gonna try to read that because you know what, my eyes aren't getting any younger. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, you like the coconut oil. Yeah, good. It's good stuff. It's really good for you. I mean, bodybuilders take MCT oil, and fitness professionals, all sorts of people who are concerned about their health, take MCT oil as a fuel for when they're low carbing, and because it's just so good for you. Well, it's naturally occurring in coconut oil, and most MCT oil supplements are actually made from coconut oil. So you're getting it right from the source. Like I said, we cook all our veggies with it, eggs. My wife will occasionally put it in her coffee. You know, if she's doing like a bulletproof thing, like trying to get to noon or so without eating, she'll mix it in with a hot cup of coffee and maybe a little bit of butter to get a little bit of fat to burn. Again, not bumping insulin and keeping that fat burning going all morning. Will keep a little bit of fat in the system to burn, so it makes it a little bit easier. It stays in your system, okay, but still releasing body fat. So again, you have any questions, comment below. If you know someone with benefit, put it in the comments. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put I'll put a link to my, it's a low carb diet plan. It's not spelled out with specific foods, but it has, veggie, protein, fat. Okay, so I'm going to put that plan in the comments along with a link to my circuit training workout video. So if you're looking to lose some weight, low carb diet, circuit training, okay, that's not for building big muscles, that's just for turning over energy and creating some insulin sensitivity, okay? So eat low carb, some circuit training, some cardio, okay? It's not, you're not 12 hours a week in the gym. really simple, and keep a plan where you're eating low carb all day so you can burn fat all day, and you get a little bit of a reward with a serving of starch at night. So again, any questions, comment below, and I'll talk to you later.